Hello and welcome back to the Morven Line. Today I am going to attempt to make a start on the coal stage that's going to go on the layout. So I've got different types of sort of like balsa wood, I'm pretty sure they are. So we've got sort of like some square for some of the uprights. I have got something that looks a little bit more like a sleeper there, and then I've got some very, very thin sort of like slats, which I'll probably use for the floor. So I think I've mentioned before that I wanted a coal stage, potentially with a cover on it. It's going to be the length of the pit that's on the layout. So it will have a corner and then will be open on the other side, potentially, so that I can access it from both sides. One side for unloading and one side for actually getting coal into a tender or bunker. That is the plan. I am going to have a play around and try and make a very rudimentary frame for the coal stage, and I'll come back to you at that stage, and then potentially I will, using this angle from above, try and do a little like sped up video of me cutting some wood and sticking it together and everything, and see how that goes. So I'm going to quickly leave you here and come in with the frame, I hope, of the coal stage, and then we'll see how we're going, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do after that. So we'll be back in just a second. Okay, and we've come back in and we have got a very, very rough frame here of the coal stage. So I've got all the uprights and the outlines of everything. Now I'm going to think about potentially using something that looks like the sleepers to go up the sides and across the back here, if I can keep it in frame, across the back here and then up the sides. This side will be completely open, and then I think I'm going to keep this part here open, and then this will be the side, if any, that will have the little overhang. Going to see how we go with that, but I've purposely made the legs and the tops longer than I want, just in case I mess up. So if you're looking at it and thinking, that's going to be massive, the legs have been made a little bit longer so that I can actually insert them into the baseboard, and the top's been made longer just in case I mess up. But that's where we are. I'm going to carry on with making the frame a little bit stronger, sort of like getting a cross piece underneath here, and then I'm going to think about building up these sides a little bit more. So I'll come back to you when I've got a little bit more, but that is where we are at the minute. But for the first time, I'm actually making a little bit of progress on something that I've got to scratch build. then guys, we've made a little bit more progress on the coal stage. So all the frame's done, and I've started adding in some of these pieces that look a little bit more like sleepers. The ones on the side are a bit thinner and the ones on the back a bit thicker, mainly because I wasn't thinking when I did it, but it's starting to look pretty good, and I'm just starting to put the floor down now. So I may do a little bit of a sped up clip of me just sort of clipping and gluing them. Then we will be looking at painting, I guess, which shouldn't be the hardest thing ever. A bit of brown, and then weather it up with washes is all I've got at the minute. So that's where we're going to go with that one. And then we'll get some coal on it, I guess. Might have to strengthen up some of these ones because it's very thin. So I might just have to stick a couple of bits on the bottom there. But yeah, I will carry on doing some gluing and things and show you where we get to. And here we go then, guys. I've literally just finished gluing the planks for the base. So all it will need now is for that to dry and to put some paint on it. Eventually I might do the little bit over the top, but I feel like I'm going to need some other materials rather than just wood. For one, the top will probably be corrugated iron, and I don't know whether I want to get a little bit of brass rodding and bend it over the top. But for now, this I feel like will do. So I'm going to give it some paint in a minute once it's dried. I may again video that and do like a sped up version. But you know, it's not the best, but I feel like it's looking pretty good. I might just position it on the layout in a second, and then you'll probably see that in an update video fairly soon. But that's how it looks like from the bottom, the back, top, front, and sides. But like I said, this is probably the easiest thing that I can construct on the layout, and I'm still not very good at it, so let's see how this looks once it's painted up and on the layout, because I think it'll look alright with some weathering and some paint, and I'll come back when I start painting it. here we are, guys. Pretty much done with this one now. It's all painted up, weathered a little bit. Little bits that you can see there shining are still a bit wet. And then I've got the coal all piled up in that corner for now. The only things that might change is I might put a couple more supports in here. If I can just prop that up there. Sort of either coming down here or the other way there. But obviously it won't come all the way down to here because it will sort of be across here. So there's not actually that much room to put one in. Because the legs do go down quite far. For now, that is where I'm going to leave this one. And I'll just put it in on the board. But won't fix it in because one day I might get the little bit of shaft that goes over the top, and these bits on the top will probably be cut down a little bit because they do look quite high. But I'll quickly fix it to the board for you and show you it from the different sides. And I've just quickly placed it on the board just to give you a rough idea. It is very, very tight on this side to actually get a loco past, especially a tender. But just about squeeze past. But I will quickly hook up to the other line and I'll swing the board round to show you from the other side, because that's the main function for it. And because everything on this side is perfectly straight along this, whereas it curves here a tiny bit, which gives it the angle to nudge it, it's much better on the far side. And if I have mainly tank engines in small stock rolling through here, shouldn't be an issue. And I mean small tank engines through here, because the Class 72 that I've got is a bit tight here as well. I just need to delve down where the PVA's been, because I can see the shine definitely on the camera, not so much in the flash. But we'll quickly flip it round and I'll show you the other side. Here we go then, guys. So you've got the view from the front this time. So you've got the pit in the front. As you can probably see, I've scattered some coal around on the floor too, which needs a little bit of weathering up, just to get rid of that glossy looking finish that the PVA is given there. But this side is much better. I'm not sure if you've seen this loco before, but it's one that I've had for a while. But it does fit through here much better. So you can get loaded up with coal and everything. I think it's about the right height. Probably come up a little bit, maybe about there. Would look okay, and it's at the right height. Maybe that's probably a little bit better. So it can come in here, just trying to get it not to fall off the board. You can get loaded up with a load of coal. Potentially somewhere around here I might, maybe on this side, get a water tower put in. But from what I can remember off the photos that I've seen for Malvern Wells, it's off and on the actual main line just outside of the station. So that's one for another day. Maybe I'll put one in here, and because I'm running it as a heritage line, they may have shifted or put one in here as an extra so that you can sort out more of your locos. But there we are, guys. There's the coal stage, pretty much done for now. Maybe some changes in the future, and if anything, the uprights will be made a little bit shorter. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.